This is Mexican elote dip, and it is extremely creamy, spicy, full of flavor, and delicious to serve at a party. I guarantee you there'll be none left, and everybody will be asking you, how do you make this amazing dip? You're gonna love how easy this dip is to make, but still be surprised by how much flavor it has. So in total, I used 25 ounces of frozen corn. I like frozen because whenever it's frozen, it is at its peak of freshness. I had one 10-ounce bag and one 15-ounce bag. I used yellow corn and white corn, and the mix of the two was really great. If you use frozen, like I recommend, let it thaw out for 30 minutes before you get to making the dip. And you can also use canned corn as well. Just aim for about 25 ounces or 4.5 cups. So we're going to start building some of this creaminess and flavor. So you're going to use half a cup of mayonnaise and just make sure that you really mix that in well. Okay, so now we're going to add some sour cream. So it's going to be about 4 ounces that you add in. I've got a regular 8-ounce jar here, and I'm just eyeballing it, cutting it in half, and putting in 4 ounces to balance out everything. You want to mix it in really well, and it's going to give it that subtle, tangy flavor that sour cream is known for. And especially when it bakes, everything gets melded together and it just tastes delicious. And again, the mixing is very important. We have lots of little kernels of corn that need to be coated so that whenever it's getting hot and baked, everything melts together. Okay, if you have a Trader Joe's, I highly recommend getting this everything but the elote seasoning. It is incredible on any corn that you're using. It also tastes good on chicken. It's not one of the main spices that we use here, but I do add it in for a little extra something. But the main spices you're gonna use are chili powder, onion powder, and garlic powder. You're gonna use 1 teaspoon each, and make sure you mix it in really well, again, so that every kernel of corn is covered. And with the elote seasoning, I just add in like half a teaspoon just to give it a little extra flavor. Here we're gonna use half of a lime, and we're gonna squeeze as much juice out of it as we can. This is gonna bring acidity and really help balance out everything and really wake up these flavors even more. Save the other half because we're gonna garnish with it. And again, you want to make sure that you mix everything up really well. And the next ingredient we're going to add is some cilantro. So you're going to have extra cilantro on top, but you're also going to mix some in. I just pick it off and throw it in so that there's little bites of cilantro. If you don't like cilantro, leave it out. It's not going to take away from this dip at all. But you want about half a tablespoon, and go ahead and add that in and mix it up really good again. Okay, and then one of the last ingredients before we're ready to bake is you're gonna add in your cheese. So I highly recommend using feta cheese. Get a 4-ounce feta container. If you have the option for something with similar flavor profiles like garlic and herb, definitely get it. It's only gonna add to this dip. You're gonna add in about 2 ounces and reserve the other 2 ounces to put on top. And I highly recommend using feta as opposed to cotija cheese, because cotija cheese actually won't really melt. It's an aged cheese. It's wonderful in the right application, but here you definitely want feta. It's going to be incredible. It feels better on the mouth, and it's a perfect cheese for this dip. So go ahead and mix that in again really well, and we're about ready to put it into our casserole dish. So get yourself a 2 or 3 quart dish. Either one is going to work. You don't have to spray any non-stick spray because of the mayonnaise and sour cream. And go ahead and just scoop it into your casserole dish, and then we're going to dress up the top a little bit before we bake it uncovered. So you're going to get your fresh jalapeno and cut them into rings, and try to knock out some of the seeds because those do hold all of the heat. And I like to just pile them into a couple of the corners so that people have the option of if they want a jalapeno or not. And go ahead and sprinkle in the rest of your feta right on top. It's going to melt into everything wonderful, and it's going to give that top, you know, you've got the corn, the white and gold corn, and then you've also got the cheese that's melted in, the pop of the green, and we're also going to sprinkle some paprika on there. It looks really beautiful. So I recommend using smoked paprika as it has that amazing deep smoky flavor. Regular paprika will work too, but just that red rich color to really kind of give it some contrast. And I just sort of put a line down the middle to just section it off a little bit and put it right on top. And then you're gonna bake it at 350 degrees for about 30 minutes, and it's gonna come out looking just like this and looking delicious. Some of the very final touches is going to be sprinkling over some of that fresh cilantro that we cut, and then also adding some of your lime wedges so that right before people dig in, you can squeeze some fresh lime on there, or they can squeeze it on themselves. So that brings it all together for this elote dip. It is sweet, spicy, tangy, savory, all at once. It's definitely served great with some chips, but you can also have it on the side if you're having tacos, steak, chicken, literally anything. It's just a wonderful, very unique side that I guarantee you people are gonna ask about and they're gonna enjoy it. I'm just adding a little bit more of the paprika on top of the lime to give it that messy, rustic look. Thanks for watching, and y'all enjoy this recipe. Be sure to subscribe for more content like this and delicious, unique recipes.